breaking now, more budget cuts at the University of Nebraska. Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Andrew Ward. UNL announcing it is working on slashing several millions of dollars from their budget for the upcoming school year. The decision made in compliance with a request from Governor Jim Pillen. Now, according to the interim chancellor, Catherine Ankerson, the governor's memo issued last week requires that all state agencies, boards, and commissions cut their spending for the benefit of Nebraska taxpayers. The university president responding promptly, asking the entire system to cut their budget by 5%. That amounts to $13.9 million for the UNL's campus. Here are some of the requests outlined in the memo. Governor Pillen says the controlled spending is necessary for the state to be able to ensure that Nebraskans continue to get reduced income tax rates and for the state to invest in property tax relief. But UNL's interim chancellor says the move is a hard blow for the university, which has already had some reductions recently. Ankerson stating, quotes, "It is a serious setback. It is not a sustainable path for our university, nor for the health and vitality of our state," end quotes. She goes on to say UNL would now have to forego scheduled improvements in classrooms, technology, and infrastructure in order to absorb that budget cut. Also breaking out, Lincoln Fire and Rescue looking into the cause of a fire, leaving some costly damage at the BNSF yard wheel shop overnight. This is just some of the aftermath here of the flames here next to me. Some equipment severely burned and water and residue seen on the floor after LFR put out the flames. Now here's a closer look at that scene. LFR sharing these images with us this morning. First responders on the scene as smoke billows out of what looks like some sort of garbage there. LFR tells us the fire broke out around 3:40 this morning. They've not revealed any information about the cause, but authorities say it was contained to a metal dust collection system. They say it cost the company around $40,000 in damages. Thankfully, no one was injured. All right, let's talk weather here now. Blue skies in our Alec Communications camera. We got temperatures already up in the mid-80s outside. Let's get on over to meteorologist Dominic Ferraro. He's got a closer look at our first forecast here for us. Good morning, Dominic.
Hey, good morning, Andrew. Already getting toasty out there. I know I stepped out here after the morning shows, and you could just feel the humidity in southeast Nebraska. It's not really a new story here as we've been dealing with it in the last couple of days, but certainly one that's going to join us for a Friday afternoon as well. Clear skies here on your Barry Law camera. Temperatures at the Lincoln Airport into the mid-80s. Feels like 90 already, and that's because your dew points are in the lower 70s. Winds out of the southwest right around 5 miles per hour. Across the state, temperatures here in the 80s. Already a few spots though with air temperatures in the 90s, including O'Neill at 92, Valentine at 90, Shadron just about there themselves, as well as Norfolk. So we're likely going to see some more warmer weather on the way, and several of us with dew points in the 70s right now too is going to drive those heat index values into the mid to upper 90s for the rest of your afternoon. Otherwise, mostly clear skies in your satellite. We haven't seen too many fair weather clouds develop so far, though it is a little early in the day for that. We'll keep an eye on that going forward, as we could see a sprinkle or two out of one of those for the rest of your afternoon as well. Temperatures on the way then to the lower 90s for highs today, under mostly sunny skies, and that breeze out of the southwest will continue, only getting warmer as we head into the weekend. More details on that forecast coming up in a few.
Thank you very much, Dom. And developing now, new scrutiny over election security after President Trump's speech. Headlines around the world showing a wide range. As you check your phone this morning, the Associated Press writing Trump uses primetime address to raise doubts about U.S. elections ahead of the midterms. Meanwhile, The Guardian says Trump rehashes wide-ranging U.S. election claims and releases heavily redacted documents. While the USA Today taking it a step further by throwing in a quote of Trump comparing U.S. elections to a third world country. Now today, the Department of Homeland Security discussing these claims made by the president, calling cyber vulnerabilities in electronic voting systems. DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen sharing some stats this morning, saying they found more than 200,000 non-citizens registered to vote in 4 states: California, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Nevada. Mullen said there are also found more than 400,000 deceased people still registered to vote in 23 other states, including Nebraska. President Trump announcing the release of what he says are newly declassified intelligence documents that issue in U.S. election systems. The documents were posted here on the White House website during his address.
You can't have a great country without free and fair elections.
China compromised voter data during the 2020 election, but China releasing a statement this morning imploring the White House to stop, quote, making groundless accusations, end quote. U.S. election officials have also previously said there is no evidence of widespread voter fraud. Senator Pete Ricketts releasing this statement this morning supporting the president calling to pass the Save America Act. He says, quote, "In Nebraska, I led the effort to obtain voter ID. In the Senate, I have voted for the Save America Act 5 times. I have consistently said we must have safe and secure elections," end quotes. The Nebraska Democratic Party also responding after the speech. They're pushing back on his claims about previous elections, saying, quote, "Americans have grown tired of repeated claims over voter fraud without any evidence." Despite this, the president continues to direct his DOJ to indulge his conspiracy theories, end quotes. Of course, we'll let you know all of this on air and on our now local news app. That's where we'll share updates from the DHS. After today's news conference, we just posted one here. No time has been released, though. Well, you can download the app today and hear what DHS officials have to say. Also, tune in tonight at 5 for that full report. Breaking now, new developments after a body was found at Antelope Creek. This morning, officials releasing the name of the person as Adrian Paris of Lincoln. The 37-year-old discovered in a storm drain near Billy Wolf Trail. LPD says right now they do not suspect foul play in his death, but an autopsy is scheduled today to determine how the man died. They say results could take weeks or even months, and we would keep you posted as soon as that information is released. Right now, growing cases of cyclosporiasis are being found in Nebraska. State health officials say 5 cases have been detected in Lancaster County, while 3 more have been confirmed in the Two Rivers Public Health Department.
We typically had about 1 to 5 samples that would come in. Currently, we're getting over 200, sometimes up to 400 a day. It is a challenge to do trace back and figure out what the culprit might be.
State health officials commenting say Nebraska now has 49 total cases of Cyclospora since May statewide. Officials are also honing in on the exact cause of the outbreak. Here's ABC's Perry Russell.
The FDA and CDC say they may have found the cause of part of the cyclosporiasis outbreak affecting thousands of people. Shredded iceberg lettuce served at some Taco Bells in 5 states: Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and West Virginia. The FDA pointing to a single supplier of the lettuce in Mexico. Taco Bell voluntarily removing the impacted lettuce nationwide. In a statement, the company says it will be replaced within 24 hours in select states. Adding, quote, "We believe public health is a shared responsibility among restaurants, their suppliers, and authorities."
And the abdominal cramping, I don't even know how to explain it.
It can take 2 weeks for symptoms of the parasitic infection to show. They include fatigue, fever, upset stomach, and weight loss.
I don't think I've ever experienced stomach cramps like that before.
Sam Epperson and his 2 children had the symptoms.
It was definitely a very unique feeling, and I knew it wasn't just a normal stomach bug.
The CDC estimates there are nearly 7,000 cases of cyclosporiasis nationwide.
That's why it's so important that if you're living in one of these states, experiencing these symptoms, go to your doctor and get tested, because there are antibiotics available that will help shorten the length and the severity of your illness here.
State health officials in Michigan are reporting more than 4,300 cases, with more than 100 people hospitalized.
It's an additional 500 to 600 cases per day. And so we're waiting to see if this is the end and whether we have, some light at the end of the tunnel.
The CDC says it's looking into other outbreaks of cyclosporiasis that may not be linked to this case. Perry Russell, ABC News, New York.
New developments: construction on a massive power plant is underway. The Nebraska Public Power District holding a ceremony this morning to mark the start of construction on their next power plant, the Princeton Road Station in Hallam. Now, this is NPPD's first generation facility constructed in the last 20 years. The new power plants will be located just north of their property next to their existing Sheldon Station. They say it will include 20 reciprocating combustion engines. They estimate this will help power approximately 318,000 homes at max capacity.
This facility will complement our existing generation fleet and strengthen our ability to be the affordable, reliable, and resilient power provider Nebraskans have come to know and trust.
NPPD says there's anticipation of the expansion of Nebraska's demand for electricity. The plant is scheduled to be finished in 2029. Coming up after the break, back to school ready, how a group of kids in Beatrice gained the doctor's seal of approval to hit the kindergarten classroom next month. are one step ahead and ready to head back to school. These kindergartners getting a doctor's seal of approval to return to the classroom next month after undergoing their required physical, hearing, and vision screenings, along with their required immunizations. It was part of the Beatrice Community Hospital's annual kindergarten physical days, the clinic rewarding the kids with superhero capes and special t-shirts. Tonight, families can enjoy a night of wild fun at the Lincoln Children's Zoo. It's hosting its Family Fun Fest, an after-hours event featuring live music, carnival games, and scavenger hunt. The event runs from 5:30 to 8:30 tonight, with the entire zoo open for families to explore and enjoy. Organizers say the goal is to create a fun summer evening where families can make memories together. Younger Americans are most likely to use phone backgrounds as a key piece of information about somebody, and a new pill for high cholesterol will soon hit the market. Jane King explains in today's Wellness Report.
The USDA approved Merck's cholesterol-lowering pill. It's the first oral drug in a class of drugs dominated by injections, which could potentially broaden the use of cholesterol medication among people at risk for heart disease. The pill treats patients with LDL, the bad cholesterol, which impacts about 1 in 4 adults. Well, 1 in 7 Americans say they secretly judge people based on their phone background. The survey conducted by Talker Research found 14% of respondents say they think someone's phone background says something about their personality. The top phone background was family members and children, with 19% of Americans saying that is their image. Coming in second was a photo of nature or landscapes, and third was a personal memory. Well, Gen Z admits to having AI guilt. Many Gen Z students and recent graduates have taken to Reddit to confess feelings about AI guilt, about outsourcing their coursework to the technology. And some say they were under pressure to use AI despite concerns it could compromise their learning. In one survey, 46% of Gen Z workers said they worry their AI usage has weakened their skills. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Here's to your health.
Hot and humid on the way then for the upcoming weekend, though relief from the heat might not be as far away as you think. I'll break down the latest in your full forecast here coming up after the break.
Comfort.
Now, Nebraska's elite search and rescue team is heading to Texas as deadly flooding once again devastates parts of the state. Nebraska Task Force 1 now headed with 4 hours to pack and beginning the nearly 900-mile trip. The 45-member team leaving Lincoln Thursday afternoon, including 25 LFR members, 6 civilian specialists, and 2 canine teams. They'll report to San Antonio, where they'll receive their search and rescue assignment upon arrival. And this isn't the first time the team has answered the call. Last July, the same 45-member team deployed to Texas following the deadly Camp Mystic flooding, spending nearly 2 weeks assisting search efforts. Now they're returning as emergency crews conduct water rescues, evacuations, and search operations after days of torrential rain. This comes as some dangerous air quality is hitting several states on the East Coast and the Midwest. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
This morning, massive plumes of wildfire smoke choking the Midwest and Northeast for a third day. 115 million Americans are under air quality alerts across 19 states. From Chicago to Detroit to New York, some of America's biggest cities shrouded in a thick orange haze, skylines vanishing, the smoke blotting out the sun. In Philadelphia, the Mets-Phillies game had to be moved up 1 hour because of the smoke.
Not the greatest idea, I guess, to come out here and play in this type of weather, but, we're doing it.
The FAA slowing arrivals into Philadelphia's airport, pilots seeing ash in the air.
Yeah, it's adhering to the windshield. I've never seen it stick to the windshield like this.
Milwaukee reporting its worst air quality on record. In Toledo, Ohio, readings topped 800. Anything over 300 is considered hazardous.
When you get to these burgundy dots, that's hazardous.
When the air quality index tops 200, experts advise everyone to wear a mask. And the threat could linger. More than 850 fires are still burning across Canada, with 30 new fires in the past day alone. Meanwhile, in Texas, a different disaster. Walls of water inundating hill country. In Uvalde, this rescue from the air. A state helicopter crew dropping down to a flooded home and lifting out this family, along with their 2 dogs. Receding waters revealing the devastation.
And in this Kerrville neighborhood, the power of the floodwaters is just undeniable. It rammed this SUV up the tree and another car into the house.
At least 2 people were killed when they were swept away by floods. A woman in her car and a man in his RV. This RV park was hit hard, but everyone here got out before the flood. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Now, your Storm Alert Team Forecast with meteorologist Dominic Ferraro.
Well, we're still very much in the thick of our warmest time of the year, at least statistically speaking. Our highs right now average in the low 90s, and that's where we'll be today. And we'll be warmer than that as we head through the upcoming weekend. Spot showers, though, remain a possibility here in southeast Nebraska throughout the afternoon. Very similar to your Thursday, likely would be a little bit on the brief side, but I know models still kind of hashing out if that's still a possibility the rest of the way. So keep an eye on the radar for this afternoon. Plenty humid out there for it, and get the AC unit ready for this weekend as warmer temperatures are on the way through the weekend and into the start of next week. Although we may have some relief coming up in the forecast. Wanted to also take a look here quick at some stats for your July rainfall. It's been kind of a sneaky good month for precipitation. Yesterday, the airport got a little over ½ an inch. I took the rain gauge this morning, too, here at the station in southwest Lincoln. We were at about 0.8 of an inch of precipitation, and that puts us here at the airport just under 4 inches on the month to date, and our average for the entire month is usually 3¼ So already making up some good ground there. Now, how much more we'll see the rest of the month, it looks a little dry here for the moment, but again, not a bad start there at the things, and especially after how dry we were during the winter. We'll take the moisture now when we can get it. Quick look outside in southeast Nebraska. Lots of blue skies on your Shones roofing camera. Temperatures down in Beatrice in the upper 80s, and you're starting to see a few more of those sneak their way here on the statewide map. A couple 90s out there as well. It's 84 in Lincoln, 87 up in Omaha, 88 in Wahoo, and 85 in Columbus. The 80s there sticking around for the Tri-Cities, but clear skies here on your satellite, so that's at least some good news. We're getting some sunshine in, but if we take a kind of a look down right along the Kansas-Nebraska line, we're starting to see a couple of those fair weather clouds pop up. I mean, it's common this time of year, especially with the humidity we got, and we'll have to keep an eye on those clouds because they could give us a sprinkle or two. Now, this run of stormcast shows a few spot showers closer to the Omaha area, but I think after yesterday, we just can't rule out the fact that we could see one of those down here in southeast Nebraska too. So keep an eye on the radar if you're spending any outside time here later in the afternoon or into the early evening. But clear skies then as we head towards midnight. Clear start to your day on a Saturday, and we'll see a few more fair weather clouds again for the afternoon. In fact, maybe even a little more cloud cover here, especially in eastern Nebraska as we head towards the hours of peak heating on Saturday. Mainly, though, for those chances for showers, looks to be north of Interstate 80 and a few more widespread chances as you get out into north central Nebraska. Those kind of linger around, fizzle out as you head just after sunset, and then once again a clear evening as we head into the start of your Sunday. Temperatures across the state today into the 90s for most of us. Got us at 93 in Lincoln. The upper 90s then to even a few spots in the triple digits can't be ruled out as you move off then to the north. For your weekend forecast, into the upper 90s ourselves here in the capital city. 97 on Saturday, the heat index close to 100 degrees. And then for Sunday into the upper 90s again. Now 98 would be the warmest temperature we've seen so far this year, and the heat index not going away anytime soon either. Close to 105 there on Sunday, and once again for your Monday, which at the moment got us at 98 still. I know there's a possibility we could try and make a run for the triple digits, but there is also a chance northeast Nebraska sees a little bit of rain, and that may the cloud cover from that might kind of hold our temperatures back. So that's why we're sticking with the upper 90s here for the moment. We get our own chances for rain though towards the middle of next week. It might also bring some cooler temperatures as highs fall back to the 80s.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much, Dominic. Still to come, a medical breakthrough for AI, how it helps one man who had been paralyzed and what this means for the future of chronic ailments.
This is Channel 8 News Midday.
Now to the war in Iran, another round of attacks overnight. We're seeing brand new video this morning from the Iranian military showing them responding to U.S. strikes. CENTCOM reporting overnight they wrapped up a 6th straight night of attacks with a series of, quote, precision munition strikes from fighter jets, drones, and warships. The increased violence in the Strait of Hormuz in particular is causing gas prices to soar. We've seen a 20-cent increase this week alone. Many places now showing $3.79 a gallon here in Lincoln on our Now Local News app. But the national average is now creeping toward $4 again. AAA reporting it's at $3.98 a gallon. That's 4 cents higher than Thursday. New details on ICE shootings involving immigration officers in Texas and Maine. The shootings are prompting changes in the way ICE handles traffic stops. Field officers are now being given the proper protocol for those stops. ABC's Karen Hua reports.
The Associated Press reports the officer allegedly involved in that fatal ICE shooting in Biddeford, Maine this week has a history of mental health issues. The AP reports the officer's relatives say he has a history of violent behavior, but they insist he acted in self-defense. 25-year-old Johann Sebastian Guerrero of Colombia was killed. Officials say Guerrero was not a target of the investigation, but they say he tried to flee the scene, and the officer fired his weapon, fearing for public safety. ICE says the officer involved has nearly a decade of federal law enforcement experience. Meanwhile, in Houston, we heard from a lawyer for the family of Lorenzo Salgado Arujo, who was fatally shot last week. She says bags of a white crystal-like substance seen in Salgado Arujo's van were not drugs, but salt, part of a homemade electrolyte mix used by outdoor workers in the Texas heat. The district attorney says any test results on that substance will have no bearing on whether the shooting was justified. In the wake of these shootings, sources say ICE has issued new protocol for traffic stops, requiring at least one officer with a body camera and another with specialized training. Karen Hua, ABC News, Washington.
Here's the updated forecast now with meteorologist Dominic Ferraro. Good morning, Dominic.
Hey, good morning, Andrew. Yeah, definitely going to be a hot and humid one out there as we're already off to kind of a warm start. I know you can feel the humidity if you are taking a look then. All right, going out to lunch today. A lot going on here on your ABC Seamless camera, though, as it looks like we got maybe a traffic stop going on there. All right. Anyway, temperatures still on the warm side. Mid-80s in Lincoln, 85 in Columbus, 89 in Norfolk, 93 then as you head up towards O'Neill, in the low 90s for Valentine as well. Here's a look at those heat index values. It feels like 90 in Lincoln, 92 up in Omaha, the low 90s as well for O'Neill, Norfolk. So we're with dew points right now in the 70s, so it's going to feel a bit toasty here for the rest of your Friday afternoon, and that is just the start then as we head into the weekend. Starting to see a few fair weather clouds starting to pop up in northern portions of Kansas. That's likely then on its way to us for the rest of the afternoon too. Might see a spot shower or two, but the majority of us mainly going to be contending then with these warmer temperatures. As we take a look then at your hour-by-hour forecast into the 90s here very soon for us in the capital city. And that's where we'll stay then for the rest of the evening, even hanging on to the low 90s then as we head towards 8 o'clock tonight. But it'll be a warm one overnight, 80s then by 10 p.m. and only getting warmer through the weekend as well. We'll take a look at that forecast and when relief from the heat could be on the way in a few minutes.
We'll talk to you then. Thank you very much, Dominic. Right now, a huge piece of Nebraska history has new life. Take a look at this. A restored Pershing auditorium mural out of Wyuka Cemetery, now complete. Citizen journalist Brian sending us this video to our Now Local News app. What a sight. After years of planning and raising more than $4 million, it's done. This mural, one of the largest in the world, at about 150 feet wide and 40 feet tall. And we were there for the big moment. Channel 8's Ron Fowler reports.
There it is. Look straight to everybody.
Yes, deserves a round of applause. And there you go. A project that started 5 years ago is now complete. When the city decided to tear down Pershing Auditorium, a group of people made it their mission to save the massive mosaic made up of more than 760,000 glass tiles. And they did it, painstakingly removing and restoring each one, and then bringing it to its new home at Wyuka Cemetery.
When you look at the size of the mural, you had to stay positive because I don't think anybody realized how big this mural was on the side of Pershing Auditorium. This project is memory driven as far as the fundraising. Everybody has a memory
of Pershing.
Putting up something like this, so big and with so much history, was a huge undertaking.
I think the most important challenge was maintaining the reverence necessary for it. You know, this isn't a kitchen backsplash. It's not, you know, a commercial job. It's a piece of art. So throughout the whole process, we had to remember that and respect that.
Volunteers behind the big project are now working on entering this into the Guinness Book of World Records.
It's one of the largest murals in the Western Hemisphere. And secondly, what we believe is the largest mural of its kind ever moved.
Reporting for Channel 8 News, I'm Rod Fowler.
Well, maybe Husker basketball's takeover in Lincoln this fall during football season. Head coach Fred Hoiberg getting some answers from Husker Nation when he sat down with CBS reporter John Rothstein for a recent podcast episode. We're now learning when Rothstein will hold that happy hour he's been promising in Lincoln since the Huskers won their first NCAA tournament game.
This week in Las Vegas, and we are targeting a happy hour in Lincoln sometime mid to late September when practice starts. That's all on your, ops guy, Luca Virgilia, to get me the practice schedule so I can plan the happy hour. But will you be in attendance when I set that date?
Absolutely. I will 1,000% be in attendance, John. I can't wait. I can't wait to have a beer on your tab.
Of course, we'll let you know when exactly that date is as soon as it's announced. Should be fun time in Lincoln once it's officially on the schedule. Tonight, downtown Grand Island kicking off another fun night of live music. The events will take place at the Amir Plaza and will feature performances by Briella Steiner and Tanner Sovereign. Along with the music, people can enjoy food trucks, sweet treats, drinks, and a featured brewery with the purpose of bringing the community together to celebrate summer. A story of hope and courage now, only on 8.
Here is if the individual falls on their face, they will suffocate. So the dog is going to come in, he's going to push the head to the side, and he's going to lay down, keeping the head up so they don't choke.
SIOD is one of the rarest disorders in the world, with only 10 cases in the U.S. and only 1 in Nebraska. And that's Emily. Her family was told she'd only lived to be 9, but last week she celebrated her 23rd birthday. She's beating the odds, and right by her side, her support dog, Hamilton, giving her strength. Our Danielle Da Silva speaking with Emily's mom and the Lincoln nonprofit that helped bring the two together.
Emily has had a history of seizures, mobility problems, and neurological issues. And by her side the entire time was this handsome boy right here, Hamilton. And Hamilton and I are currently at Domestic Pups in Lincoln because things have taken a turn for the worse. And for the past 6 days, Emily has been in the ICU unit at UNMC. Now, the folks here are doing what they do best, supporting one another when one of their own is in a time of need. SIOD, or Shimki-immuno-osseous dysplasia, was a complete mystery to the Kester family when their daughter Emily was first diagnosed at the age of 5.
It's a multi-system disorder. And to boot, her dad and I had a 1 in 3 million chance of getting together and having a child with SIOD.
Disease has made Emily small in stature, a trait that influenced the name of her family's group, Little Giants Foundation, pushing for research.
We have so much power within this one child, this one foundation, this one community, this one disease that we could help so many other people with.
The family has been in touch with others around the world, teaching them what they know and giving back to the communities that have helped them, like Domestic Pups in Lincoln, a nonprofit training dogs for people just like Emily.
So truly, training a service dog takes about 2 years. So there's a whole lot that goes into that.
Hamilton met Emily. He was ready, many saying they had an instant connection.
So he knows her. He understands her moods. He understands when she doesn't feel well and what to do with it. Especially, when you get to be a young adult, you don't always want mom and dad there with you all the time.
Hamilton keeps Emily strong. And as per her mom, Emily is keeping their family going as well.
Well, she is a little spitfire. We always say she has an old soul and she loves to do practical jokes. Humor is a big part of our lives because if, you just kind of have to, or it gets too deep, too dark.
As for the group at Domestic Pups, they considered the Kesters family too and aren't going anywhere.
After we place the dog, we're still here for the whole duration of this relationship. We're not going anywhere. We try to go to their fundraisers and support them. They come to ours. So we truly have an ongoing working relationship. We really appreciate what they do.
The group has a golf tournament coming up where they hope to raise funds for the researchers that are studying this rare disease. As for the family, they say they're taking it one day at a time. They hope that the next move is to have Emily go into the rehabilitation unit where she'll receive some PT and OT. We'll be keeping you updated on this story. Reporting from Lincoln, Danielle Da Silva, Channel 8 News.
Still have this Midday Fair Fun kickoff, the special set of activities on the schedule this weekend as one Nebraska county begins the fair today. of sleep and vacations. Sleepcations are stays at high-end suites designed to help you get better shut-eye. ABC's Ashan Singh checked it out.
The struggle to get enough Z's has been made fun of in shows like Friends. But America's actual attempt to get a good night's sleep is formidable. Only about half of the people in the United States wake up feeling well rested, according to a new report from the CDC. And only about a third of Americans get the recommended 7 hours of sleep a night.
Lack of sleep is tied to increased rates of high blood pressure, an important risk factor for cardiovascular disease.
Enter an array of savvy hospitality companies that are dreaming up new ways to maximize every second of sleep. I started off with a comp suite called a Sleep Lab that usually costs around $2,000 a night at the Equinox Hotel in Manhattan. It comes with full blackout curtains, a TV with specialized circadian rhythms, and the bed is powered by AI.
Let's put this on my head. This is the craziest assignment ever.
Devin Gimbel runs a travel points optimization website and stayed at the Bright Restorative Sleep Suite, which costs $1,500 to $2,100 a night. Comp tours by the Park Hyatt, which also has an AI-powered mattress.
How do you feel?
I feel great. To be able to get just a solid night of sleep, I think it's such a great benefit.
I didn't sleep like a baby, I can't lie.
But you too can get a good night's sleep at home.
You want to make sure that the environment that you're in is cool, dark, and quiet. And most importantly, you want to avoid using a phone before you go to bed.
I feel good, so I'm gonna have a good day.
Ashan Singh, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead, hot dog, how this viral sensation pup is now finally getting his wish. What is behind the popular social media video?
Comfort Made Mattress Factory's free for all sale just extended. Right now, receive a free foundation, free bed frame, free delivery, and free installation with qualified mattress purchase $895 or more. With our lifetime comfort guarantee, you won't have to worry about buyer's remorse. If your comfort level ever changes, we'll adjust your bed as many times as you'd like. Sale ends August 1st. Stop by family-owned Comfort Made Mattress Factory today.
I'm Pete Ricketts, and I approve this message.
Allowing boys to play girl sports isn't just unfair, it's dangerous. But that's not what Dane Osborne thinks. Osborne refused to support Nebraska's Fairness for Girls Amendment, saying it was rooted in hate. And Osborne would allow boys to play girls' sports and use women's locker rooms. That's just plain wrong. He tries to hide his beliefs, but the truth is, Dan Osborne won't protect me, and he doesn't share our values.
At Spectrum, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between speed, reliability, and value. That's why Spectrum fiber-powered internet gives you all three for just $40 a month. No contract, no commitment. And set up your internet in under 10 minutes. Spectrum fiber-powered internet delivers the most reliable internet for everything you do at home. Streaming, gaming, and connecting. Switch today and get Spectrum fiber-powered internet for just $40 a month. Call now or go online.
Craving a mouth-watering sub sandwich? Look no further than Sid's Deli and Subs. Serving fresh, made-to-order subs with your choice of sliced meats and cheeses on our soft, fresh-baked bread. Come and taste the Sid's Deli difference. Sid's Deli and Subs, 33rd and Cornhusker, Lincoln.
At a time when children's mental health is in crisis, we envision a future where mental health is a vital part of growing up. We provide free, expert-developed resources to millions across the United States. Learn more at kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org.
Trending now, one adorably hungry pooch going viral across social media and is finally getting what he's been longing for. Many people have seen the video by now, but they may not know his story and with something he might love just as much as hot dogs, his family. Here's ABC's Danny New.
Maybe you've seen this now famous video from a few weeks ago when this poor guy really wanted to take a big chomp out of another dog's hot dog during a Miami Marlins bark at the park night.
This is the stare that millions of people saw when he wanted a hot dog.
He does it every day.
His name is Jonah, and his mom, Amy, says she screamed on the couch when she saw so many people, including the Marlins, trying to find Jonah on social media. For starters, their family was just watching the game when this secret stare down happened.
We really had no idea this was going on. And I'm just like, that looks like Jonah.
Well, Jonah's cuteness garnering social media attention has actually been a big theme in their family's journey with him. In 2020, Amy's husband Peter first saw these photos of Jonah as a puppy on Facebook after he was found in a cage with his brothers in Aruba. An organization Peter volunteered with, called the New Life for Paws Foundation, rescued them and brought them to the States.
It wasn't his intention to adopt. It's just he fell in love with Jonah.
But wait, there's more. At that time, Peter and Amy had not seen each other in 15 years. They used to be friends way back when, but one day Peter shared a picture of Jonah on social media. Amy hearted that photo, and then
He reached out to me and was like, hey, how are you doing? And then it kind of went off from there. So Jonah is not just a hot dog story. Like, he's a big part of our love story.
this is the very good boy right here. But fast forward a few years to this past Sunday, where Jonah was the guest of honor at a Marlins game. Peter threw out the first pitch. The family sat in a suite filled with hot dog-shaped chew toys and a custom doghouse.
Jonah, let's get you your hot dog, buddy.
And yes, Jonah finally got to live the dream and just enjoy a hot dog at the ballpark.
It became bigger than we thought it would, all because he was a good boy.
And I want to make sure I mention that Amy and Peter actually raffled off 2 of the tickets for their suite to raise money for the organization that brought them Jonah, the New Paws for Life Foundation, and invited the founder to attend with them as well. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Before we go to break, here's a live look outside at our Barry Law Tower camera. Final check of the forecast is next.
KLKN is bringing you the best quality newscast. Whether it's breaking news, community concerns, or the stories shaping our future, we're committed to keeping you informed every step of the way. Our team is always there, bringing you the most comprehensive local coverage, dedicated to serving our community and bringing Lincoln nothing but the best. When you need local, trustworthy news, the answer is simple. KLKN, bringing you Nebraska now.
The time to buy new furniture is now during Ernie's and Ceresco's mid-year sale and clearance. And we kid you not, this isn't just any sale and clearance. It's the best furniture and mattress values, period. We're making room for exciting new looks and styles. And to help get it done, Ernie's is making the savings as exciting as possible. And not just on a few things. Ernie's has twice the display and twice the selection, plus no interest for 18 months. Don't miss the mid-year sale and clearance. Going on now at Ernie's and Ceresco and Ernie's Mattress First, Lincoln.
When you pay more for healthcare, gas, and groceries, remember the corrupt politicians from both parties who profit from your pain. In less than 4 years in Washington, Pete Ricketts increased his own net worth by nearly 30% while raising costs for you. To fight corruption and lower costs, declare your independence. Dan Osborne, veteran, mechanic, lifelong independent for Senate. Working Class Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Seamless steel siding is weatherproof, maintenance-free siding that looks great and protects your home for a lifetime. Go with the name more homeowners trust. ABC Seamless. Learn more at abcofnebraska.com.
Certified Transmission built its reputation on the job done right. It means hard work, honesty, and integrity.
And together, we ensure our customers leave satisfied and worry-free.
Certified Transmission, the job done right at the right price.
Well, before we let you go, one last look at your high temperatures across the state today. The 90s for most of us. Can't rule out a few triple digits, though, as you get out towards the very northern reaches of the state. Tonight, down into the 70s for us in eastern Nebraska. That higher humidity helps us hang on to the heat just a bit longer. The 60s as you head out towards the west. And heading into your weekend forecast, temperatures only getting warmer into the upper 90s. Heat index values above 100 degrees. Great weekend to try and find a good way to cool off.
Plenty of this weekend. All right, thank you very much, Dom. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. GMA 3 is next.
Tired of dealing with clogged drains or leaks in your home? Introducing New Flow Nebraska, a game changer in plumbing repairs. Our trenchless pipe lining system is fast and reliable, using existing plumbing access points for an affordable, non-invasive fix. Preserve your property integrity. No dig pipe repair means no more disruptive excavations. Our innovative technology is clean, green, and built to last up to 50 years. Start with our $99 camera inspection to assess your home today.
At Synergy Home Care, we're all about family.
Our roots run deep in Nebraska, and we're obsessed with offering the most compassionate in-home care for families in the good life state. We understand the emotional impact of providing for your loved ones, and we'll help you discover options to ease your financial stress, including a free insurance review so you can focus on what truly matters. Your family. Synergy Home Care. We're all in this together.
Your morning forecast with Houston Hall at 5, 6, and 11 a.m. Crime.
It's time for GMA3. Hazy and hazardous skies. The dangerous air for more than 100 million Americans as the smoke from the Canadian wildfires spreads from the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic, where the air quality is among the worst in the world, and when we could get some relief. Red flag warnings. Sharks close to shore shutting down some popular beaches on the East Coast. The new plans to enhance monitoring capabilities, including drones, and why experts say we're seeing an increase in sharks in shallow water. Sweet dreams are made of these. And dreaming up new ways to maximize every second of sleep. The rise of the sleepcation.
We're about to do a little bit of a staycation in their one-of-a-kind sleep lab.
Can a luxury stay away from home help you get the shut-eye you need? And is it worth the price tag? It's time for GMA3. Sweet dreams are made.
Well, you better stay awake right now because it's GMA3. Hello, everyone. I am Will Reeve.
And I am Mary Bruce. Always good to be here with Leslie Lopez as well. And so glad that you can join us on this Friday to close out another good week.
Yeah, now coming up, GMA Health Alert. Parents need to know about this summer. How to spot the signs of potential drowning even after hours that your children get out of the pool. We have some warning signs. Dr. Tara Narula is here to at least demystify.
Very important there. And it is hot, so we have some cool treats. They are the right stuff that's going to help you beat the summer heat.
And we start out with the toxic smoke, unfortunately, from the Canadian wildfires moving south, now hitting the mid-Atlantic states, while still impacting air quality in the Northeast and Midwest. Matt Rivers is in Brooklyn with the latest. Matt.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Yet another day of haze here in New York City. We're in Brooklyn, looking across the river there to lower Manhattan. You can see just how hazy it is at this point, joining millions of Americans facing hazy, hazardous skies again today with smoke from those blazing Canadian wildfires traveling more than 1,000 miles, blanketing the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic. This is the third straight day of air quality alerts, air quality advisories in more than a dozen states and counting. Apocalyptic-like scenes from Chicago to New York, Detroit, and Chicago among the major cities with the worst air quality in the entire world. Milwaukee officials also recording their worst ever air quality. The smoke also impacting flights. One pilot telling passengers on board a Delta flight near New York yesterday not to worry as a smoky smell invaded the cabin from those wildfires. And here in New York City, even though the air quality is not as bad, let's say, as in Detroit, officials here are saying it is hazardous to everyone here in the city. To that end, they are handing out masks, KN95 masks, to anyone who wants one at public libraries, police, and fire stations, guys.
You got to be careful out there. Matt, thank you so much for that report. We're going to turn now to the shark sightings closing beaches as we head into another summer weekend. Fears are on the rise as the predators keep coming closer and closer to shore, but officials have new tools to fight back.
This summer, major beaches on alert as increased shark sightings prompt expanded efforts to keep beachgoers safe. Red flag warnings closing 4 New York area beaches.
There was a approximate 6-foot shark that was sighted. We took the immediate action, closed our beaches for 1 hour, monitored the shark until it went out to sea.
With about 24 shark sightings since Memorial Day in the area, officials in Hempstead announcing new plans to enhance shark monitoring capabilities.
Before our beaches open every single day, we have our lifeguards patrol the waterways with a drone that uses infrared technology to monitor the waters, make sure they're safe to open. Money's going to go to an additional drone with infrared technology, as well as contributing to an additional jet ski.
It's what's happening up and down the coast. Drone patrols deployed on New York's Jones Beach to find those apex predators. And off the coast of North Carolina, a 14-foot-long great white shark nicknamed Contender, believed to be the largest ever tagged great white in the Atlantic, spotted en route to Cape Cod. Experts say we're seeing an increase of sharks hunting for food in shallow water due to working conservation efforts and changes in the weather.
Typically, when we get these big, strong El Niños in the Pacific, you'll get changing weather patterns and changing currents in the Atlantic. So, because of warming water, pushes bait closer to shore, and that bait then brings sharks closer to shore where people are.
And now we're going to change gears. The World Cup final just 2 days away. We cannot wait. And for some people, the star-studded halftime show may actually be the main event with BTS, Madonna, Shakira, Justin Bieber. Just some of the names set to perform. Lara Spencer has the details on the extravaganza.